All right, welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be exploring the health and wellness space. It's a relatively underfollowed sector, and that's exactly why we want to explore the space and see if we can find any hidden gems. A segment of the sector has been gaining attention, especially companies focused on mental health. So to get a better understanding of the sector, I have with us a special guest today, Gord Davey. He's the CEO of Delivra Health. Delivra offers sleep aid and pain relief products. Their products are sold in North America and the Middle East and available in over 30,000 different stores, including established chains such as Walmart, 7-Eleven, London Drugs, Shoppers Drug Mart, you name it. We initiated coverage on Delivra last year, and we are anticipating record revenue and earnings this year. With that, let's welcome Gord. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today, Gord.
Thank you, Sid. Really good to see you today, and I look forward to our conversation.
Fantastic. So let's just jump right into it. You have more than 25 years of experience with CPG companies. I think you joined Delivra back in 2017, 2018.
I did.
Do you mind telling us a bit about your background, how you got into Delivra?
Sure. Yeah, my background is in consumer packaged goods, certainly with companies such as Coca-Cola and the Red Bull company. Those are two of the larger companies that I've been with, and just been around this industry for a long period of time, through innovation, through new product launches, through acquisitions, and all of those experiences have certainly helped not only Delivra Health Brands, but our entire team as we go forward. And my background is in consumer packaged goods, but we have a very strong team around us, Sid, with Delivra Health Brands, and a lot of consumer packaged goods experience in each one of our leads that we have for Delivra Health. And I think that whole teamwork aspect is really what has helped us accomplish what we have so far.
I can see the type of products you sell in your background here.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that for us. But do you mind walking us through the different types of products Delivra has? Delivra has been around for over 15 years, but I think the shares got listed back in 2017. Maybe a quick background to get some color.
Yeah, I think it's important, Sid, to recognize the history of Delivra Health Brands. Delivra Health Brands, as it is today, is only 2 years old. We were formerly Harvest One Cannabis. And like many early entry cannabis companies, Sid, we had to go through a huge amount of change, transition, and understanding to get to a point of where we are today from a sustainability perspective. You're right, I did join back in 2017 to Harvest One Cannabis, and we were a cultivator, we were a processor, we had facilities that we were, like many early entry cannabis companies, were extending ourselves into a marketplace where there was a little bit of unknown. And as we have witnessed and watched over the past few years here, Sid, that companies needed to look at what they were doing and either make a decision on whether or not they were going to diversify or merge in with other companies. Our company, about 3.5 years ago, made a strategic decision, and that is that we were going to diversify out of the highly capitalized cannabis company to that of a very strategic health and wellness company that's uniquely positioned in the cannabis space. Let me explain that a little bit more. So we recognized that there was an opportunity to transition to a health and wellness company because of our brands of Dreamwater and LivRelief, two very strong brands. Sid, you mentioned Delivra's been around for 15 years. There is a lot of science and innovation going on in the background that we have been able to bring in for 15 years. People like Dr. Joe Gabriel, the founder of our LivRelief brand. So we were able to really understand that we had these two really strong brands. And we had a third vertical, and that is in our infused vertical, and that is infused LivRelief products as well. That's it. I'm telling you, it was really tough at the beginning. We had to really focus in on some short-term tactics in order to get us to that long-term sustainable strategy. We had to divest from a lot of these assets that we had. And investors in Harvest One Cannabis, they were wondering, what's happening with this group? What is going on with this strategy? When you're turning a company around, Sid, you have to stay very focused and very disciplined on those turnaround strategies and segments that you look at. And that's what we did. We made a strategic decision to make a name change from Harvest One Cannabis, because we're not a cannabis company, to that of Delivra Health Brands, a global health and wellness company that is uniquely positioned in the cannabis space. So you're right, we are in 30,000, about 25 to 30,000 outlets across North America and the Middle East. But we are also in about 1,200 dispensaries across Canada for our infused topicals as well. And we're also the top selling infused topical on the Spectrum health platform through Canopy Growth as well. So we have really worked on this strategic overview of where we're going to go. And that's a bit of history of where we are. And I'm just, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but let me just add just a couple more color points to this, because I think it's very important for our audience to understand. 3 years ago, Delivra Health Brands was negative $10 million in EBITDA. Through our last quarter, in 3 years, we have been able to continually improve on those numbers. And as of September of 2023, we are now EBITDA positive. We are cash flow sustainable. Our margins have gone from 9% back 3 years ago to over 50% now and sustainable. We really had to do a strong job on sustaining this business, and through a tremendous amount of teamwork and very disciplined approach, we are now in a point now where we're ready to take on the next phase of Delivra Health Brands.
Now, when we are doing our initial due diligence on Delivra, we are looking at all the publicly available, spots where we can find reviews for your products. And we found very favorable reviews on Amazon. Your products are also on Amazon. And apparently one of our colleagues also has been using your LivRelief products for the past 2 years. She's a very loyal customer, keeps going back and buying the same products, same LivRelief products again and again. So before we get too much into Delivra, for our audience and also for myself, do you mind, walking us through the current landscape of the health and wellness sector, especially your target markets? Is it dominated by large players? Is it fragmented? How does it really work, this sector?
Yeah, what a tremendous question, because it is so complex with that question. But what we have done is we've taken that complexity and worked it down to an efficient approach. The sleep category is exponentially growing, Sid. It is growing in various ways. There is, and inside that segment, excuse me for 1 second. Inside that sleep segment, it is growing not only in North America, but globally as well. This isn't something that is just meant for North America. It's funny, if I asked you, before we started, do you ever have any problems with sleep? Or do you know anyone that has ever had a problem with getting a good night's sleep? I am almost positive that 100% of people would always say yes. And whether or not you're a shift worker, whether or not you're a traveler, whether or not you're an athlete, whether or not you are a student, everyone always has an issue with a good night's sleep at times. So that category is exponentially growing. The pain category is another category that we've recognized that is, again, growing in double digits every year. And those pain remedies, they can represent in so many different fashions. what is unique about us, and you asked the question, is it dominated by larger companies? Certainly in the pain category, Voltaren is probably the largest player inside that place. Certainly our biggest competitor as well. A great product. They make fantastic products, and they have a wide variety of different remedies that you can use. Our LivRelief product, like your colleague is using, is a unique product. And what I mean by unique is that it's a plant-based product. Everything is natural. And we have a very proprietary intellectual property around that product. Dr. Joe Gabriel, who's the founder of LivRelief, created this product not out of a commercialization aspect, but out of a necessity for his wife. His wife was suffering from a pain in her face because of certain things that was happening in her life. Dr. Joe created this to help with those pain remedies and made it natural so that people aren't relying on any type of narcotic or that type of remedy across that you have to get a prescription for, those prescription remedies. So both categories growing exponentially. What makes us unique is our intellectual properties around both of those brands. And that's when you're going to a marketplace, the differentiation allows you to continue to grow, continue to innovate, and continue to be the right player inside both of those segments. So I hope that helps you out a little bit, Sid.
Absolutely. I mean, especially COVID, the mental health, sleep, conversations on those topics have increased significantly. And as more and more people have become more active, anyone who goes to gym, every other month you have some pain related problems. So the products you are selling are household names. It's used by consumers on a daily basis. Yeah, no, so I totally understand. And I think your story is easy for an average investor to understand, because I can see your products, it's selling. I can go to a shelf, any store here, London Drugs, 7-Eleven, I can see the products and I know what you're selling. Unlike a lot of, mining companies we see out there, or, tech companies or pharmaceutical companies in, early stage. So this is a much easier story to understand from our perspective. When we talk about CPG companies in general, everyone thinks of large brands owned by large companies. How does a small company like Delivra compete, with the larger boys? And what is the exit strategy of, these small CPG companies like yourself? Is it to get acquired, or do you grow through acquisitions?
Yeah. Again, there's several answers inside of that. What I'll do is I'll just give you a quick overview of what that is. We are a smaller company, and competing against larger companies, you have to stay very, very focused on your strategy and your tactics. And when you are doing this, one of the things that I'm very pleased that you can go out and see our products in the marketplace, Sid. I'm happy that you can go to a Shoppers Drug Mart or a London Drugs or a Loblaws or a Sobeys and see our product. Circle K's. We have our products in many places. But with a company our size, it's very important to understand that we can't be everywhere to everyone all the time. And you grow to that and you scale to that objective. That is exactly what Delivra Health Brands has done. We have really focused in on certain channels and certain areas so that we can, I hesitate to use the word dominate, because there is a lot of other products in there, but we certainly have made a very strong hold on those areas. For instance, Dreamwater is the perfect remedy for those that travel. Dreamwater is in every single airport in North America. Every airport you go into, you will find our Dreamwater products at every single airport. So that traveler that is going and staying in a hotel that is sleeping sleeping in a different spot for the first night, or switching time zones, or trying to get a good night's sleep on that different area that they're in. It is the perfect product for that. So that channel, we have grown exponentially. It's one of our top selling channels, Sid, for Dream Water. And what that has led to is an increased availability in hotel chains, such as the Hilton hotels. And we now are expanding into Las Vegas, into hotels in Las Vegas, because people in different areas need a great night's sleep. So our differentiation not only is in our intellectual property of how it's made, but it's also in the locations that we're going. It's our focus, Sid, has to be very strategic and fiscally responsible as we move forward. You're probably in consumer packaged goods, when you are launching products or growing products in segments, there is certainly an investment from the company's perspective. Things such as listing fees and program fees with the large companies like Loblaws, like CVS, like Walgreens. There is exponential costs that it requires or investment into those locations. You have to be ready for that, Sid, because if you're not ready for it, then you're going to line yourself up to probably not have an awareness program to pull that product through. And that is a very important part of small brands like us, having the ability to pull the product through and have people continually buy it. And that's through marketing and consumer programs inside those locations. So that's a really important, when you're a small company, you have to stay very focused on certain areas. And sometimes, Sid, these acquisition pieces, they come to you because your brands become bigger and bigger and bigger, and sometimes that's what's brought to you from the larger companies, which we have watched many times. So,
as the CEO of again CPG company, what's your exit strategy, or do you have one? For example, I'm asking this because a lot of small caps, micro caps in different sectors, for example, mining, oil and gas, their end game is to get acquired.
yes.
What's your mindset running a CPG company? Is M&A the end game or end goal, or just to grow organically or acquire new products and you grow the company?
Again, that's very important. We are Delivra Health Brands, and we are looking to expand our own portfolios, adding in like-minded companies in health and wellness and better for you products into our portfolios. So other brands like ours that are smaller, growing, and successful, we want to continue to combine, and we are constantly looking for new brands to bring into our portfolio. Exit strategies, said sometimes they come to you when you continue to grow inside your own company. We have to focus in on that, Sid. That is our goal, is to grow Delivra Health Brands, not only organically with our two brands, but we want to add in portfolio, add in brands to our group so that we can continue to grow our revenue, can continue to grow our presence.
Distribution is Delivra's biggest strength. How does an up-and-coming company get into, say, a Walmart or 7-Eleven? How long does it typically take you to get a product on one of these shelves?
Yeah. Again, thank you, Sid. Great question, because there's a lot of step work in that. First of all, it's identifying an opportunity inside those locations. We have inside our group of teamworks, we have tremendous relationships inside those banners that we use to have conversations and develop relationships on what is required inside locations. The other thing that we do is when you present your items, it takes between 4 and 6 months. And what happens in those is there are things called category reviews. So you make a category review, you make a presentation to a banner, whether or not it's Walmart, Loblaws, Shoppers Drug Mart, CVS, Walgreens, and, Circle K, 7-Eleven, they all have category reviews. And that usually takes between 3 to 6 months to go through an evolution of that. And our differentiator, we have a differentiator in our products that they're natural, that we own our IPs. So what we are presenting is a little different than those that have already been presented.
Right.
The other piece of it is to provide important data in behind it of the success that you have in the channels that you're already in. Our travel channel is growing exponentially with Dreamwater. We are also with Dreamwater growing exponentially in our e-commerce section of our business as well. So Amazon, Shopify, those platforms are growing exponentially for both Dreamwater and LivRelief. So being able to show your successes, being able to show your results, having the patience and the understanding that the investment is going to take between 3 and 6 months to come to fruition, and then executing on those strategies with a very strong marketing plan in behind it. So these companies want to know what you're going to do to help pull that product through. So the awareness and marketing programs in behind it are absolutely key.
That's a good point. Before I ask you about advertising and marketing, quick question here is, how easy is it for you to acquire a new product, a new company with products that are not on these shelves, acquire them and get it on these shelves? For example, let's say I have a brand new company with new products. They're not on any of these shelves. You come and acquire my company because you like these products.
Mm-hmm.
Is it easier for you to get these products on their shelves rather than me going to them directly and trying to get it up there?
I think, Sid, that when you have a relationship already intact and that the ability to show something that's successful and you have a track record with that, then you certainly have an efficient way to present.
Okay.
I think it's one of the great things about Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Frito is they can bring a brand in and put it right on their shelves, and the execution on that is always 100% because they're so strong. So we all aspire to be companies like those brands because they're phenomenal in how they execute and how they distribute. We can all learn from those companies. I think it's wonderful to have that experience in behind there. So when you have the distribution already in place, it gives you the ability to have that contact, to make that presentation, to present your case, and to be able to bring it to somebody that you already have credibility with. So, but it all comes down to the product, Sid. It has to be a great product. Yep.
Got it. Now you talked about advertising and marketing earlier. So when you get your product on, say, a Walmart, are you responsible for 100% of the marketing, or will they do your marketing for you? How does that work?
Yeah. It's a lot of collaboration is what it is, Sid. So it's certainly our responsibility to have awareness programs, but also consumer programs within the banners. So you'll see you'll see flyer activity, which means we would be in a paid advertisement for their banners. We do specific programming around certain areas for their banners. Through digital marketing, through social media. Obviously, social media is a segment that is growing at such a rapid pace, and the ability to do regionalized presentations with social media allows you to take a next step when you're dealing with those large banners. But it is our responsibility, but it's a collaboration with their marketing team to line up consumer programs, but also to be able to distribute those awareness programs within their own banners, whether or not it's in flyer activity or on websites, or whether or not it's on their own e-commerce platforms. Walmart has a tremendous e-commerce platform, as does CVS, as does Loblaws, as does Shoppers Drug Mart. So being part of those types of programs is essential to the growth of your company as well.
What percent of your products would you say comes from online and versus physical store purchases?
Yes, so Amazon or e-commerce is our largest customer, and it represents about 25% of our business. And that has a lot to do with how efficient execution is. So we have a ability, if we have a new product or new innovation, we can get that on e-commerce quite efficiently. As I've just explained, new products and services into a larger banner could take between 4, 3, 6, 8 months at times in order to get that product into those banners. So that is about 25% of our business is e-commerce for sure. Yeah.
Now, did you have to change your advertising or marketing style, marketing campaigns pre-COVID, post-COVID? Is there any difference? Have the costs related to marketing gone up?
It's a very interesting question because it's a bit cyclical. During COVID, the amount of shopping from home network went up exponentially, as we all know. We watched e-commerce platforms grow in triples and quadruple increments because people were ordering from Amazon or Shopify or any of the platforms. We're now seeing people go back to stores, which is really great. It's good to see. But those platforms of driving people to the stores is important for our banners. So when we're dealing with Shoppers Drug Mart or we're dealing with Walmart or Loblaws or Sobeys or Circle K, they want us to help drive people to their locations because that's an important aspect for their growth as well. So we're seeing a bit cyclical, and the cost, yes, the investment into marketing, it's always increasing, and different stages of your business will require different levels of investment. Right now, Delivra Health Brands, we are in the next phase of our development. So you will see a large amount of marketing awareness programs that you'll witness as we go forward over the coming months.
You want to talk quickly about Canopy too? I know you have something going on with the Canopy, which is not the flagship initiative, but then something that could, bring further upside in revenue.
Canopy is the largest cannabis company out there, and we are so fortunate to be part of their team. They are our contract manufacturer for our infused products. We are not a licensed producer. We use Canopy for our license to distribute and market and sell our infused LivRelief brand. They are growing our product exponentially. They are increasing our penetration. Our role on their Spectrum Therapeutics, which is their health and wellness arm, we are growing exponentially on that platform. We couldn't be more pleased working with Canopy. We have growth strategies. We have expansion strategies outside of Canada that we'll continue to work through with Canopy. And I'm glad you asked because we're very pleased with our relationship with Canopy.
Got it. Any final thoughts? Any upcoming catalysts that we should be watching out for?
Well, I would like to share with you a few things, Sid, but I think the best thing to do is to watch for our press releases that are going to come out.
Okay.
Watch for our growth that's happening, and keep an eye on Delivra Health Brands because we are in a very strong growth mode right now.
Fantastic. So that's what we have for you today. Please check out our reports on Delivra on our platform researchfrc.com. You'll be able to see our valuation and target price in these reports, where we do a detailed cash flow model and a comparables valuation model. I want to point out that Delivra is sitting at 0.4 times revenue valuation multiple versus the sector average of 1.1 times. So that's a 65% discount. Just to put things in perspective, We are anticipating Delivra to generate 12 million plus in revenue. Last year, they did $10 million with a positive EBITDA for the first time of $1.5 million EBITDA. And the current market cap is just $6 million. You can do the math yourself. But thank you, Gord, for taking the time. I'll get in touch with you when your next quarterly results are out. For all of our viewers, thanks for watching. If you enjoy our content, we need your support. So please subscribe, like, and share our videos. I'll be back with you next week with more ideas.